Hey there, how are you guys doing today? I have finally come out of deep slumber to relay a message. Today, this video is actually going to be about you guys. Yes, I want to dissect your little gamer brain and want to get some feedback on generally what the TF2 community is based off of through a gameplay standpoint. And that question is, are you an offensive or a defensive type person? Whether you play TF2 professionally or casually, you invest in some sort of strategy. When strategy is involved in a video game, your ideas and thoughts limit to one specific objective, and since we're on the topic of TF2, that objective is attacking and defending. You think when it comes to playing on offense or defense, it's as simple as hopping on a payload map, going on red team, and building a sentry on last point, right? Yeah. Wrong. It actually goes pretty deeper than that. Not only are you put into a situation where the objective tells you to attack or defend, but you also have to use loadouts that best suit the current situation. And lastly, what I personally think is the most important thing is in fact your mindset. When you're playing on defense, are you willing to sacrifice less damage output and less kills to protect an objective? When you're playing on offense, are you ready to sacrifice your life a lot more so you can cap that point or push the cart? These types of situations are based upon experience and inside thrill. People play the game differently and prefer different ways to play when a video game gives them various game mechanics and options to pick. Which type of wheels, kite, and go-kart do you use in Mario Kart? Or what types of perks do you use in Call of Duty? This type of variation expresses you as a player, and it really tells you a lot about yourself as a person. But, of course, let's never forget on rare occasions, however, no matter what the objective demands us to do, sometimes there are a few outliers who at times will go completely against what the objective tells them to do. These people we are going to refer to as game changers. Take it away, Brothers Johnson. Let's look at the last point on bad water. When you're defending, there's a forbidden line where if you cross it, your chances of survival is a lot less if you hadn't crossed the line, period. This line is usually a choke point towards the end of a payload map. Of course, this forbidden line has more meaning and can be easily interpreted on mainly payload maps, but when it comes to those game-changing players, this line has no meaning. Have you ever seen a pocket crits soldier jump out on the other side and proceed to go full throttle at the other team? Have you ever seen a bombing soldier, or maybe a sneaky spy always target you when you play medic? Or maybe even a sentry in the most complex spot, which brings the question, why are you there? Game changers go beyond the objective and look at other ways to win. Pushing the enemy further away from the objective or backcapping the point are alternative ways to win the game without the objective really telling you that's also a way to win. It's almost like a sixth sense to people who enjoy playing offense and defense, but at the same time these types of plays can of course be extremely risky. So risky, it can actually detriment your team. Game changers play the objective, but sometimes go for the risky plays that could have been performed better if done differently. It's almost like any intense sport game where it's down to the wire. We always dissect risky plays from the losing team because if done a different way, it probably would have helped them stay in the game longer rather hinder them. It's interesting to see such a niche subcategory be so crucial to a game that honestly is moderately strict about the objective. I consider game changers to be the middle ground of our offensive and defensive range mainly because it's an aspect that can be obtained from both parties. With all this in mind, this creates the basic spectrum of TF2's variation, in which the game mode, the items you use, and the mindset you have all come into effect. In a game like TF2 where you face a constant change of all three reasons I just mentioned, I considered all players to fit within the range of the spectrum, and I would really like to know where you guys fit within this. In my mind, TF2 is a really good example of variation working right in a video game. It expresses who you generally are and what you bring to the table in an environment where teamwork is required. What prompted me to create this video in the first place is that when you play the game long enough, you expect to see the same type of gameplay with the respected game style all the time. And sometimes you do, but just now, after some thought, I came to the conclusion that people play slightly differently. So next time you see that nest of sentries on last point, don't blame them. Blame the spectrum. Happy holidays, happy new year, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.